So today, we're going to talk about something that's a part of every single meal you eat, food literacy. We're going to break down how knowing a little more about your food is actually a super powerful tool for staying healthy. Let's dive in.
On the surface, that sounds like a pretty simple question, right? But the answer, well, it takes us on this incredible journey from farms and factories all the way to your kitchen. And understanding that journey is really the first step. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down what food literacy even means. Then, we'll get into some simple safety rules, learn how to become a label detective, explore how culture shapes what we eat, and finally, get you started on your very own food journey.
So let's get right into it. What exactly is food literacy? Well, at its core, it's this idea that our food has a story, a life that starts way, way before it ever shows up in our fridge.
This is about so much more than just slapping a good or bad label on food. It's the whole picture, knowing where it came from, how to handle it safely, and even the cultural stories wrapped up in it. This isn't just random trivia. This is the stuff that empowers you to make smarter choices.
Okay, let's switch gears and get super practical. A huge piece of food literacy is just plain old safety. These are the simple habits that can make a massive difference in keeping you and your family healthy.
Think of these as the 4 golden rules of food safety. It all starts with washing your hands. Simple, but crucial. Then, separate raw stuff, like meat, from everything else. No cross-contamination. Third, cook your food to the right temperature. This one's a biggie. And last but not least, store your leftovers in the fridge within 2 hours.
And honestly, that's the whole point. Have you ever eaten something and just known something was a little off? Yeah, chances are one of these 4 rules got skipped somewhere along the line. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about being smart and making sure your food stays fresh and safe.
All right, so once we've got the safety basics down, we can go a level deeper and start decoding what's actually in our food. And that means looking right past the flashy packaging and getting friendly with the ingredients list.
Okay, let's talk about food additives. I know, they kind of get a bad rap, but their job is usually pretty practical. Making things taste better, feel better, or last longer. Some are totally natural, like salt or lemon juice. Others are made in a lab. The goal isn't to be afraid of them, but just to be aware. A quick glance at that label puts you back in the driver's seat.
And that's a really important thing to remember. Not all additives are villains. It's so easy to paint them all with the same brush. But just think about your breakfast cereal. You know those added vitamins and minerals? Yep, that's an additive. One that's literally designed to make your food more nutritious.
And this really gets to the heart of a big trade-off we make all the time. On one side, you've got fresh foods, straight from the earth. And on the other, you have commercial foods, which are super convenient, but often need those additives to last on the shelf. Neither one is bad, but knowing the difference helps you make a choice that feels right for you.
Now let's zoom out a bit, because food is so much more than just fuel, right? It's a huge part of our identity, our traditions, and our communities, no matter where you are in the world.
Take Japan, for example. A traditional meal there is it's like a work of art and balance. It's usually built around some rice, some fish, and all these different vegetables, and the whole plate reflects this deep philosophy of eating.
Or think about Mexico, where food is really the glue that holds family gatherings together. You've got these amazing staples like corn, beans, and chili peppers that become the foundation for these incredible meals made for sharing and connecting.
And that is why getting the cultural side of food is so cool. It turns eating into an adventure. You get to appreciate diversity, you're more open to trying new things, and you might even connect with your own family's history. So we've covered a ton of ground. Now it's your turn. Let's make this personal and kick off your food literacy journey with just a couple of questions.
First up, just take a second and do a quick gut check. Think about those 4 safety rules we talked about. Wash, separate, cook, store. How are you feeling about those? Is there maybe one you could pay a little more attention to?
And second, what about those labels? Are you a flip the package over kind of person? It's such a tiny habit, but it can give you so much more insight into what you're actually eating. When you boil it all down, it comes to this. Food literacy isn't some fad or a hobby for foodies. It is a fundamental life skill, just like learning to read or manage your money. Because at the end of the day, when you know the story behind your food, your choices just become better. They're not only healthier and safer, they actually become more meaningful too.
So I'm going to leave you with one final thought to chew on. What's your next food adventure going to be? Maybe it's a family recipe you've never tried, or a dish from a culture that's always fascinated you. Whatever it is, your journey starts now.